Hello, Mr. Tate. Welcome to the show.
Glad to be here.
Why don't you go ahead, say hi to our lovely viewers.
Well, hello there. I am Andrew Tate, as you may know.
So, by the way, guys, my name is Philip. Philip as first name, Eno as my middle name. So, Mr. Tate, you're here for one thing and one thing only. We'd like to hear your thoughts on worldly views.
Oh, yes?
You know, as of right now, you're trending all over social media, and it is very controversial what you're talking about. So, you know what? Let's just jump straight in. What is your thoughts on women driving?
Well, I will answer that with a story. I was once driving, and a woman right in front of me just U-turned right in the middle, hit a car in her own lane. It was ridiculous. Women should not be allowed to drive. It's just my personal truth of the world. Women should not be allowed to drive.
I know, Mr. Tate, but half the world right now is against that opinion of yours. They're saying that you can't just base your answer on just one scenario, you know? You can't just base it on one woman to identify all the other women, you know?
Well, I'm not saying that all women are bad drivers, but
they are.
That's what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying? Yes, women are bad drivers, but not all of them, just all of them.
Lovely answer, Mr. Tate. I totally agree with you there. But there's this major problem going around the world right now. And it's about gender equality. So, can we hear your full thoughts about it?
Well, people really get me wrong on this one. They all think that I think men are better than women, but that's not true at all. Women are great. They're wonderful. They're perfect at everything, and they're great at what they do. Except they can't do anything. So it's hard because as men we have to protect them because they're useless and can do nothing for themselves. They're like dogs. You see, we have to train them, and they have to listen to us, or else we find a new dog.
I totally see where you're going there, Mr. Tate, but don't you think that's kind of belittling them? And I don't know, Mr. Tate. There are lots of wonderful women. There are lots of strong women, very independent, very smart. Some are even way, way, way smarter than the scientists that we've had in the past.
Now, that's true. There are women that are good at things that men are supposed to be good at, but that's because they're a masculine woman. And you see, most women that I've met, at least, would love a man to play all those gender roles. Those women who are good at those man things, they're good, yes, of course, but a man will always be better. So they should really just go back to the kitchen and make me make me a sandwich.
They do make a mean sandwich, Mr. Tate. Mean sandwich there, Mr. Tate.
Yes, they do.
Love the answer. Once again, totally agree with you there, Mr. Tate. Now, Mr. Tate, women, as you can see with all your answers, they are completely useless, utterly useless. But Mr. Tate, aren't they useful at least for anything at all? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you this. Women are like tools. You can use them to our own advantage, and then we use them, and then we help them, so it's an equal trade. Like, for example, the way I became really rich is I filmed women and sold their images on the internet without telling them. That's what I did. So they are useful in that way. They can make you money. I could open up a strip club. Makes me money. So you're right. Thank you for pointing that out. Women are useful.
Mr. Tate, you should have told me this a long time ago. Now I'm just living off my mom's basement.
Well, open up a strip club, my friend, or whenever you have a woman over, if you ever do, I doubt that, but if you ever do, just film them and sell it on the internet, especially their feet.
Fair
People
enough,
love the feet.
Mr. Feet. Alright, Mr. Tate, lovely answer there. But speaking of women, why don't we talk about veganism? What are your thoughts about that?
Well, vegans just don't understand. For something to live, another thing has to die. So why should I feel bad about killing animals, or stomping on animals' legs and breaking them, or ripping out the spines of animals? I need that sustenance to live. Meat is a crucial part of the human diet. I once had a woman over, because I have many women over at my apartment.
Most definitely, Mr. Tate.
I forced meat down her throat to prove to her that humans need meat to live. So I just took the meat and...
I most definitely feel frustration there, Mr. Tate, but why does it matter to you that why is it such a big problem for you, Mr. Tate, on how people choose to live their life, their health, Mr. Tate?
Well, would it matter to you if you saw a person in the KKK? Veganism and vegetarianism is a cult. It's a religion. It's disgusting. And if you're in that, you cannot be vegetarian. As humans, we need to eat meat. So when you practice vegetarianism, you are in a cult. And, some people say it's about the animals. Why should the animals have to suffer? Oh, animals deserve to suffer.
Alright, Mr. Tate, lovely answer, Mr. Tate. But right now we'll get into a very, very deep conversation, Mr. Tate. And to me personally, it hits very deep down. And it's about mental health, Mr. Tate. And in one of your videos, you quoted that men are not allowed to cry, Mr. Tate. And to me personally, I think they are. But what are your thoughts about that?
Well, I'll tell you this. People say, men are allowed to cry, women are allowed to cry. It's okay, they should be able to cry. No, it's not okay. Because life as a man is much harder than life as a woman. So if a man cannot cry during his hard life, then a woman shouldn't be able to cry either. I'm not saying men aren't allowed to cry. I'm saying no one's allowed to cry. Crying is for wussies. Depression is a mindset. It's not real. You can be depressed, but you cannot...
Whoa, Mr. Tate. That was a very voluptuous fire there, Mr. Tate. Glad to see you doing alright.
I'm alright. I did breathe in a lot of smoke, but that's alright.
Still got that shiny head of yours. Mr. Tate, speaking of smoking, you just said, there's been a really popular trend right now. And I'm gonna be honest, it's been going on for decades, and it's about smoking. And smoking has evolved into something called vaping, and for sure it's technically like flavored air. What are your thoughts on that?
Vaping is disgusting. I can't believe it. I can't believe people do it. It's addicting. It's bad for your lungs. It's bad for your health. It's just bad. Like, just breathe air. Just breathe regular air. It calms you down. Just breathe air. I'm calm. Like, I smoke cigars, but of course I know what I'm doing. As we can see here, he's actually dying. I could give him CPR, but unless you are a hot female, I am not going to give you CPR. If you're just some fat guy having a heart attack, I'm sorry, you're going to die.